Today we are going to beat Fallout 4 as a Necromancer. With the help of a mod called Unlimited Combat Followers and some console commands, we are able to turn any enemy that's allowed into our companion. But we're going to spice things up. In order to gain a companion, I need to kill an enemy and resurrect him using the console command. I can only use my companions to attack, and every time I level up, I gain one companion. So if you enjoy the video, please leave a like, it helps out a lot.
Okie dokie.
First, we're going to make our character. We have to give him a long beard, and he has to be balding. Now we're going to be the strongest bald Necromancer. As for the skill points, I went with 10 endurance for running and 10 intelligence for the extra XP, and the remaining points into charisma. Now that we're ready, we need to leave the vault, and since I can't attack, I just went straight to the exit. But there's a problem. I couldn't pick up the Pip-Boy because there were enemies near me, and since I had no means to attack, I had to resort to environmental kills. You can kill the roaches with the generator if they pass through it, but the issue is that the generator is kinda RNG based. So after 30 minutes of ring around the rosy, I finally beat the roaches. I got the Pip-Boy and left the vault. The first course of action is to get the best boy, dog meat. Now, since I can't attack, I'm going to use dog meat as a means to get my first minion because we're going to need the help. I picked up a wild mongrel and there we got our first minion. We reached Concord and helped out the Minutemen. Upon arriving, I switched the mongrel with a human because I can give humans any kind of weapon and armor to use. I also made it so that the minions can be revived with a stim pack so that I don't have to constantly resurrect every dead minion that I lose. But that would mean I need to use my stim packs wisely. After we cleared out the raiders, I leveled up and got our second minion. We went inside to clear out the remaining raiders, but the AI isn't the best. They take a bit to reach the next enemy and sometimes they just don't do much. I mean, even the creator of the mod said to use them as meat shields rather than attacking. We cleared out the raiders and then it was time to face the Deathclaw. Thankfully, we're given power armor to wear. I tried to let the minions use it, but it clearly didn't work. So we faced off with the Deathclaw and I tried to be a meat shield so that my minions could attack at a safe distance. Knowing the Deathclaw, he would probably one-shot them and I didn't have that many stim packs. Our first attempt, we died. But on our second attempt, they got the job done and we came out on top. After helping out the Minutemen, our next stop was Diamond City. But before we continued, I wanted to level up so that I can increase my army. I hit level 3 and found a Protectron. I tried going to places with enemies so that I could get some XP, but after a good bit, I realized that unless I actually hit the enemies, I don't get any XP. So I basically wasted an hour. Thankfully, going to locations also give XP, so that's a plus. While I was attempting to get non-existent XP, I came across a hospital and when you explore to the end of it, there's a Deathclaw. And let me tell you, I wanted it.
What the heck okay.
So we fought the Deathclaw, but everyone got knocked. Go figure. I had to run around in circles in order to heal everyone back up, and after a few cycles and a bunch of stim packs, we finally beat it. But since I was only level 3, I had to drop someone, and so we dismissed one of the raiders. And well, Deathclaw took care of her.
Oh.
Afterwards, I tried to do some quests to gain some levels. As we were grinding, we got a Mirelurk, and I tried to see the Deathclaw in action, but he's quite big indoors. So I don't rely on him too much, but when he gets through, he goes crazy. I got to level 7, and as we're going to Diamond City, I came across some super mutants. I added one into my army, but he came out naked. At least he turned into a legendary. I went to Diamond City and met Ellie. We needed to save Detective Valentine, but I thought I could make some bottle caps along the way. So I used my bald-headed charm and got some caps. I was going to save the detective when I came across Swan. He's a boss in the middle of a pond and I was hoping I could pick him up. It wasn't going to be easy, but since I had Deathclaw, I was feeling pretty good. But then Deathclaw got knocked, along with everyone else. So we did the run around and revive tactic and finally beat the brute. Thankfully, we were able to add him to my army. Afterwards, I went underground to save the detective, but it was definitely a mess. For the most part, the smaller grunts were doing their job, but as for the Deathclaw and Swan, yeah, not so much. The Deathclaw isn't too bad because if there's enough space, he can fit through an attack. But Swan on the other hand, well, he's just there for moral support most of the time. Also, he's a good tank to take on enemy aggro. Regardless of the setbacks, we slowly mowed our way and reached our destination. We met Dino and there's not much to say. The boys did their part and we met the detective. As we were trying to escape, we came across Skinny Malone and his missus. But thanks to our bald-headed violent Riz, we turned her against him and just proceeded to destroy everyone.
You're a bad boy.
Oh, we just rizzed her up. The violent Riz?
And from you.
You double-crossing mall. Teach me to fall for
Double-crossing mall, what does that even mean? Oh, yo, everyone needs to chill.
I took Skinny Malone's outfit and changed clothes. just because we're a necromancer doesn't mean we can't be classy. After beating everyone, we went back to the detective's office. Our next course was to break into Kellogg's house, but we failed. So, we used the negotiation riz on the mayor and got the key. We got into Kellogg's house and found a secret room, but the only clue we got was the cigar. And that means we need the next best thing to find Kellogg: dog meat. We followed dog meat as he was picking up the scent from the cigar. We came across some enemies, picked up a Yao Guai, and reached Fort Hagen. We went inside, but this place was even more cramped than the underground area.
Guys, there's not enough space. Please, get me out.
As we were trying to find Kellogg, we came across some synths. I was able to add 2 of them into my army. And finally, we met Kellogg. After a bit of dialogue, he still wanted to fight, despite the numbers disadvantage. I mean, I had Swan and a Deathclaw for crying out loud, but those 2 were just stuck, so they didn't do anything. Kellogg tried to go invisible, but they still saw him. And at some point they killed him when I wasn't looking. Since we got this far, I was feeling pretty attached to my minions, and I felt like Richard, my first minion, needed an upgrade. So, we took Kellogg's stuff and transferred it to him. Oh, how they grow up so fast. We left the building, and on the way back, I found a power armor in some shed. We took it for the increased defense and made our way to Good Neighbor. Upon arriving, we met with Dr. Amari and showed her the brain augmenter. We looked into Kellogg's brain and learned that they use teleportation. So, we traveled to the glowing sea to find Virgil. Along the way, we found another Deathclaw. I wanted to add him to my army, but he evaporated, and we couldn't resurrect him. We met with Virgil, and he told us we needed a Courser chip in order to teleport to the Institute. So, we tracked down the Courser and made way to Green Tech Genetics. Along the way, we met with a lot of enemies. And what do you know? Only the smaller minions fought because every main mission always has small quarters. Thankfully, a minion I picked up, who I called Iron Woman, was putting in some work. I gave her the Power Fist and the rest was history. As we were getting closer to the Courser, things got more hectic. And mid-fight, the Mirelurk, who I suddenly called Jeff, was just chilling. I mean, at some point he stopped working and was just with us for a good time. But it's fine. He'll just be our mascot. After constant fighting, we finally reached the Courser. And since he resisted, the boys proceeded to beat him up. It's funny cause he turns invisible, but they still see him. After getting whooped by my minions, we took his Courser chip, and our next stop was the railroad. Now, in order to find the railroad, we have to follow this red trail to the end. So as we were traveling, we came across some enemies, and one enemy in particular caught me off guard.
Oh my gosh. Dude, you take that.
It's okay though, our Deathclaw is pretty strong. But the super mutant? Not so much. We finally reached the end of the line and met with the railroad. They cracked the Courser chip and gave the code. We went back to Virgil and he told us we needed a team to make us the teleporter. So we teamed up with the Minutemen and built it. Everything was ready, but before we went in, I wanted to level up some more and increase my army. We looked for a Yao Guai because my first one just randomly died. Like, he's gone. And while we were getting him, we picked up Mr. Gutsy. And let me tell you, he was packing heat.
What the heck? Yo, Mr. Gutsy's packing, bro.
Afterwards, we came across an Alpha Deathclaw, and this time, we got him. As we kept traveling, we came across a sentry bot, and boy, I was pretty excited. Although there was no way for me to open it, nothing a little resurrecting couldn't help me. So we tried to kill the sentry bot, but I didn't know he exploded upon death.
Okay. Oh my word, do everything all over again. What are you looking at me for?
So we went back and tried again. But this time, we stayed at a distance before he exploded. We resurrected him, but he came out a little special.
Guys, I don't think my thing's supposed to look like this. Hold on, let me fix him.
I was really bothered by this, but thankfully we got him to work.
Yes, we fixed it.
As we were increasing my army, I got a quest to help the Minutemen retake the castle. So we went to the castle, took care of some Mirelurk eggs, and then there she was. The Mirelurk queen came out, and she wanted to party. But let me just say, I needed her in my army. So the boys fought her, and she blew up. While I tried to resurrect her, it wouldn't allow me, so I was pretty sad. But she started spazzing out, and I thought, maybe I could revive her now. I resurrected her again, and voila, we got ourselves a huge unit. Ain't she purty? Although she does make weird noises, so ugh.
Okay, that's disgusting. You gotta... Okay, you know what?
But nonetheless, after increasing the power of my army, I was ready to go to the Institute. I got into my power armor and made way to beat the game. Except, Fallout 4 has multiple endings, so I either go to the Institute and join them, or get on their bad side and go for a different ending. So, I declined the father's offer, also known as our son Sean, and went back to the Minutemen. I decided to go for the Minutemen ending, but before we could attack the Institute, the castle was under attack by synths, so we had to go take care of that. The battle was pretty crazy, but let me just say this, my army was looking good. Everyone was going ham and wreaking havoc. After we cleared the area, our next stop was the Institute. But since we couldn't use the teleporter, we had to go to a water pipe to get there. Once we got there, we made our way to the console so that we could bring the Minutemen. Now the goal is to destroy the Institute, and in order to do that, we needed to blow up the reactor. So we charged in and fought many enemies. We even came across another sentry bot. I didn't know where the console was to turn it on, so I just added him into my party. Besides, I had 18 minions, but one of them was gone, so it makes up for it. Before we blew up the Institute, we evacuated the premise and talked to Sean, who wasn't looking that hot. Afterwards, we made way to the reactor. There was a whole battle going on, and once I found the reactor, we placed the fusion pulse charge and got teleported back to the console. And before we could leave, the synth S923 wanted to leave with us, but I said, "You aren't my son." Besides, my real son's about to die, so we left. Once we got out, we watched the Institute blow up into pieces.
Oh, dang. Holy. Okay. Lad, you're in my way, bro. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Finally, we beat the game. But before we end the video, I wanted to meet a few people that bothered me throughout my playthrough. So, I increased my army by cheating my way. And we attacked all the places and people that wanted the smoke. Starting with this one.
Okay, get her, boys. Get her. Oh my gosh. She blew up. Oh, but she's still alive. Oh no, she's very much dead. Yeah, I think it's you, buddy. That's right. Alright, boys, get her done. Oh my goodness, it's mayhem. It's absolute mayhem. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. For sure, we definitely took... No, there's still more. Oh, yep. No, I want to find... What'd you say? Okay, that's it. Alright, get him, boys. Alright, get him done, boys. Clean up. Oh, she's dead.
What's up, guys? If you got this far in the video, I just wanted to say thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. I also wanted to thank you guys for the amount of support I received my last video. It's kind of surreal that I gained a lot of subscribers and views on one video. I've been trying to grow my channel for a bit and it's been quite the journey, but I feel like I'm slowly understanding what I need to do to make this a career. And don't get me wrong, I do want to make money on YouTube, but I think overall I really want to make entertaining videos that people are interested to watch. And just know I'm trying my best to improve and figure out what I really want on my channel. So once again, thank you so much for the support. And if you joined recently or you just tuned in, I hope you guys look forward to future content and have a great one.